We're all talked out.
I know. We had our
That's
little
it.
kiki session beforehand.
That's it. That's the episode. Bye, guys.
Thank you guys for joining us at the plus size section. Bye.
It's a good spot for the music.
It's an amazing spot for the music. Do we both have our beverages?
Yeah, I've
You
got
drink?
3 beverages in my
Do
proximity.
you?
Yeah.
What are
I've
your 3
got
beverages?
So I've got this blackberry lemon functional seltzer by Hayo. It's a mocktail that has adaptogens and nootropics, however you say it. It's got like ashwagandha, passion flower, green tea extract, lion's mane. It's really good.
Oh.
I really like them. They definitely relax me. It's not like oh, I'm stoned or like, oh, I'm drunk feel. It's just kind of chill.
Okay.
Then I have I call it a spritza, but it's a lemon LaCroix with mango juice. It's good. And I also just have plain water in my water bottle.
Yeah. Okay.
What about you?
I got my wine. I got my Moscato in the large bottle. I get the large bottles. Gallo family.
It's a good family.
It's a good family. I got my big ass thing of water.
There we go. Is that a Stanley?
No, it's a Stanley. It's a Stanley knockoff.
Nice.
Because my husband, if anything, a sale girly.
Mm-hmm.
So Hydro Flow must have been on sale.
I love it. I've heard that the modern Stanleys aren't as good as like the OGs. So
really,
I feel like I've heard they leak.
Well, it's probably because they're such mass produced, but like to keep up with the hype, you know?
Yeah. Everything's
I'm not
shitty
surprised.
Now. But anywho, whoop-de-woo. This, that, and the third. What are we doing today, Sam?
Well, speaking of, I'm Sam.
And I'm Hayley.
And this is the plus size section. Welcome.
What's up?
What's up? So glad you're here. We are doing we're giving you guys a break, but not really, because we are finding stories on Reddit about dating in mixed-size couples or any type of story that has to do with being different sizes, whether that's via weight, via height, whatever. We do have some exciting news. We've received 2 emails.
Yes.
One email has to do with being in a mixed-size couple.
Thank you so much to the person that sent that in.
Thank you so much. We're about to read it on the podcast in a little bit. Thank you so much for sending that. I will reply to you saying thank you. And then we have another one that's just a Reddit story, but we got this in March. So I feel like we should just go ahead and...
I thought that was not a Reddit story.
Was it not a Reddit story?
I thought that was a story from their life. So
do you think it is?
If I remember correctly, which I could not. I thought it was.
Well, we're going to read it anyways because you guys are starting to email us and we're going to share those emails. But first, it's been a while. I think we should share our highs and lows. Hayley, what are the highs and lows of your week?
You mean of the last 3 weeks since I've seen your beautiful face?
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Highs. I left my old job and I started my new one. It's been pretty good so far. I am a corporate girly now. Girly. I have been busy. I have been using parts of my brain that I haven't used in years for work. Just like
Yeah.
not knowing how to do like processes and stuff, having to think about every step, it not being like muscle memory. There are so many fucking acronyms for everything. And I keep asking my boss, like, what is this? What is
Right.
that? Which is good. Like, she's really cool. She's very encouraging of us to ask questions. And I feel like overall it's been really a supportive environment, and I'm learning a lot, and I'm doing a lot of digital design, which is what I wanted to transition into. So, yeah.
Perfect.
So, let's see. Another high. Well, I feel like that's kind of taken up most of my life the last couple weeks. Another, I will call it both a high and a low. So, as you guys remember, about a month ago, our life update episode came out, and Sam and I got real vulnerable and talked about things in our lives that were going on and actively happening to us. Well, the family drama I talked about found the people that I was talking about. So I had to deal with that my first week of work last week, which was a lot. But the high, I will say, I did not back down from what I said. I didn't retract the things that I said, but I feel like I responded empathetically.
Yes.
And tried to meet them where they were the best that I could.
Yes.
And the situation is still ever evolving. I don't know how things are going to go, but there is something that I just want to make clear that how do I start this? This is our podcast. We are talking about our lives and the things that are going on in it. We're also talking about plus size issues and what it's like living as a fat person.
Yes.
And with that, we're talking about a lot of trauma and things that we've grown up with. And one of those things for me that I have grown up with was not being able to stand up for myself or really stand up for others as easily because I was so afraid of being ostracized. So this happening, like if this had been 4 years ago, this would have been that Hayley's worst nightmare. I would have been fucking tore up over it.
Yeah.
And I definitely don't relish conflict now, but I do want to make very clear that there were things that I could have left out. There were people that I could have left out, namely my sister-in-law's mother. I could have left her out of it, and I probably should have, because the issues that I talked about really didn't have anything to do with her. But otherwise, I was not fabricating anything. Receipts don't lie. But I will understand if the things that I say are hurtful, but I am not going to be told what to say or what not to say on my own podcast. And that's just really that. I think that, you know, you can't have it both ways. You can't say that you guys can say whatever you want on the internet and then call my husband and attack him for the things his wife said on the internet. You can't ride two horses with one ass, basically.
Yeah.
There's one set of rules, and whichever one it is at this point, like, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But it's got to be one set, and that's it. But that being said, moving forward, I will definitely weigh the consequences of what I say about personal things in the future. There have been people who have asked me not to mention them on the podcast anymore. Obviously not naming names or titles there, and I've taken that under advisement, and I will be keeping that in mind moving forward. But basically, just all of this to say, you cannot control me. I will not be controlled. And one thing that I'm not is a liar. You might not agree with what I say, but I didn't lie. And that's that.
What did I lie?
It doesn't mean that we can't smooth this out and move forward. It doesn't mean that there's no hope for recovery in the relationship. I am an incredibly forgiving person.
You are.
Just come correct. That's it.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't call my husband and yell at him. I don't appreciate that. And
you have honestly, her number?
Well, don't call and yell at me either, because that would have made the situation exponentially worse. From someone that, like, I just don't talk to very often. There was just no need to yell. But anyway, we can move forward. I can tell Sam is a little stressy.
No, I love it. If anything, it's powering me up. I'm giddy about it. This has me giddy. You know me and men, though. You know me and men. Like, watch your tone when you're speaking with me. There's been a tit in your mouth. I'm your mom.
Oh my God.
But, like, you know, that has nothing to do with this situation.
Now it's gone officially too far.
No, I'm the one that took it too far. I'm the one that took it. Hayley's been great, but I'm just saying, like, watch your mouth.
Yeah. The thing, like, the biggest thing about this for me is just, I know that they don't know my backstory.
Right.
They don't know the things that I have been through, and they don't know the shit that I have taken through the course of my life that I just refuse to take anymore. And this type of activity is just part of it.
Yeah.
I've talked about my issues with my dad and talked about butting heads with somebody constantly in my family. I'm not gonna be controlled. I will listen. We can talk respectfully, but I will not be controlled. And I think that sums it up.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
So proud of you.
Hope this doesn't make it worse, but
I mean, it shouldn't, because here's the thing. Like, we've talked about this all the time. Like, I feel like you and I both have shared our experiences of when we have not been the best people, when our actions and our words did not reflect who we were at the time. That's what this situation is. Like, if your words and actions are repeated to the public and you're like, yo, that's not who I am, that's not the person's fault of who's speaking on it. That's your problem now to correct that behavior and start acting as you wish for it to reflect your character.
Right.
Period. Like, if
I think for me, it's less of, like, obviously it doesn't, I know we talked off camera. I gave you, like, a whole update and everything. Like, I understand that the people in this situation, they're still very young. They still have a lot of life to go through. And I'm not saying that as, like, a holier than thou perspective. I'm saying that from 24 to 32, I feel like I have lived and died 100 times, like 100 different people.
Absolutely.
And we have, like you said, we've talked about it. Obviously not perfect. I used to be so fucking toxic. I used to be so unstable.
Yeah.
But just, like, you know, we're not perfect, but I'm not going to continue to, like, lambaste someone for the things that they're posting online. My thing that really just, it always has irritated me is a double standard or one set of rules for one person and another for, you know, same thing. But I just can't with that. Yeah. I can't, and I will not tolerate it. But if we can get that square, then it's all good for me.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no beef. At least not for me.
No beef. 'Cause I'm a vegetarian. I ain't fucking scared of him.
Oh my God.
Anyway.
Anywho,
You were so wonderful on that. So political. Hayley for president, everybody. Hayley for president.
I don't know. I've been a little too ACAB for that, I think.
Have you been?
Yeah, they'll see my stories archives, the things that I've shared, and they'll be like, oh, not her. 2319.
Just kidding, 2319.
Oh, God. What about you?
Things have been Aries season over here. Thank God it's Taurus season now. My Taurus moon is very much like, what if we just slept? Like, what if we just slept? What would they do to us? You know what I mean? I'm tired. Things have been very great, but also very busy. I'm taking off this season to focus on my projects, to finish up those, any loose ends. You know, I also shared about my personal stuff with my mom. Things have been going a lot better personally with her and I.
Which is great.
Which is so good. Rebuilding the relationship, both her and I setting boundaries. It's been great. But yeah, I think like the highs of the past 3 weeks have just been like getting through them in a sense of like teaching. I was able to get 2 Reiki masters. Woo!
I did see that. That's awesome.
Yeah. Precious beans. So proud of them. We did Tarot Mastery. So one of my students did their very first tarot readings for strangers.
Oh, wow.
They got paid, so they're now officially a professional.
That's so cool.
So it was a lot of fun, and I got to be there. And of course, they did the readings for like everybody in the shop, which is terrifying because their first stranger readings was for tattoo artists who are unhinged.
Yeah.
So bless your heart. But you did great. So it's been a lot. It's been teaching and being a practitioner and finishing up my projects and also working at the shop. So luckily I was able to take May off. Instead of doing 6 jobs, I'm going to do 3 jobs. And I think that that's enough. Like, I think that's a good middle ground for me.
Yeah. It's an insane number of jobs.
It's a lot of jobs lately. I woke up and said, wow, I'm really going to work to death.
I'm over here with just 1 job. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ. So like 3, 6, I could never.
Why? Because I really said like part-time means like I could take on more than 1, right? And like not really. Like, you know what I mean? Like, babe. But it's been fun. I've gotten some new tattoos, obviously, like my chest line work I have done, which I'm very proud of. My friend Taylor did this. Gorgeous. I like that she did this right here, even though I wanted to die, because like when I'm wearing like a normal shirt, you can see like
I love that. Jen, I really love I'm assuming that's the sun.
Yes.
I know it hurt. I love how that looks, and I love the dots with it. Like the whole thing's beautiful, but my eye keeps coming back to the sun.
It's so pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah,
I love it.
We joke at the shop that like once someone gets something they like, they tend to get it in multiple forms. And so they were like, "What are you?" And I'm like, "Well, I do have 2 butterflies, but I have suns."
You do, which
everywhere.
Makes sense.
Like I have it on my like everywhere. Like I'm a sun girly.
For good reason.
For good reasons. My friend Jen is doing a Hecate tattoo on my arm. It's beautiful. Just a line work, but I want to show. Jen's gonna be on the podcast, everybody. Bloop.
So good. Cute. So fucking pretty.
So I've been torturing myself this month with tattoos and working. But it's been a good month. Just busy. I'm glad to take off May now, though. I'm done. Lows, I would say just being burnt out. I think I burnt myself out. So I'm gonna take a nap for a month, and then come back and be refreshed as ever. Like it's gonna be fine.
When you come back, are you going to try and find a homeostasis, or is it going to be balls to the wall burnout? Balls to the wall burnout.
It's gonna be homeostasis.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna stand firm in my purpose and It will be fine.
It will be.
I just have to figure everything out, but it's fine.
You'll get there.
I need a routine. That's what it is I'm off my routine. And so, like, when I was on my routine before my surgery, everything was, like, so good. And now I'm off it and everything's like, you know.
I feel that.
But yeah. So, to move into the main meat of this episode, we're going to read some Reddit stories.
Yep.
Before we do that, I have an email. Well, we have two emails, but I'll read one. Do you have the email pulled up?
I don't, because my phone's on airplane mode. I'm trying to keep everything from messing up the connection over here.
Okay, so I'm going to read the emails that we got.
Okay.
I'm going to keep these people anonymous because they didn't say we could say their name. So if you send us an email, let us know if we're allowed to actually say who you are.
Or read it at all.
Yes.
Because I'm still like, I don't want to make anyone mad. Even though I had that whole fucking monologue. But I don't want to make strangers mad.
Should we not read it?
I think that you should follow your heart and do what you feel is right, as the intuitive one of the two of us.
Oh, that puts pressure. You know what? You send it via email. We tell you guys to send a story, so I'm going to read it.
Okay.
But I'm going to keep you anonymous. Okay. Hey there. I'm a newish listener. Just started listening a few weeks ago. Hello. Welcome.
Howdy doody.
Howdy doody. I don't have other plus size friends, so it's nice to listen to y'all talk. Oh my gosh. Please be our friend. Follow us. We'll follow you back. It's fine. I do have family that is plus size, but I don't like talking about plus size problem with them. It'll usually end up on the topic of weight loss in a way that feels targeted at me. But anyway, gross. I was writing just to give my personal experience as someone in a mixed size couple. My husband and I met when we were 12 and 13 and started dating at 15, 16.
Oh.
During that middle school time, I was probably only 20 to 30 pounds heavier than the average young teen, but my mom was always trying to get me to go to the gym or do Weight Watchers even then. Over time, I had gained more weight, and at 18, I was around 185 pounds. When I was 24, I was about 230 pounds. When we got married a year later, I was about 245 pounds. Now at 31, I've been hovering around 290 for the last 3 years. My husband has always found me attractive and has never tried to make me lose weight, but will be supportive if I'm trying to make an effort. Currently, my husband is about 30 pounds lighter than I am. Preach. Preach. There was a point where my mom suspected that he was keeping me fat on purpose because he'd bring me fast food for dinner after he got off work. It was actually because we didn't have food at my parents' house to make dinner. He'd call and ask if we made dinner before coming over. He'd rather not spend money. Y'all had brought up amusement parks, and that is something that is a little bit of a problem for us / me. My husband loves novelty, and amusement parks fall under that category. I always love parks, but walking for long periods of time is hard, and the fear of being turned away from a ride for me not fitting correctly is high. My husband is very caring and understanding, so he will go at my pace and ask if I need a sitting break. However, last time we went to Disneyland, we had other friends with us, and I felt so embarrassed.
Oh.
I was winded before we even got into the park because the trams weren't in use. I chose to wait outside while everyone went on Space Mountain because the carts are cramped and too low to the ground for my comfort. I was so tired from going back and forth across the park when we usually just go to the next closet ride. Oh, to the next closest ride. Sorry, I said closet. You spelled it closest. My bad. I completely bowed out of the second park because I was too tired and had blisters. I told my husband to go without me. He made sure I was okay with it before going. It was really awkward. It made it a little more uncomfortable since I was the only lady. In a normal setting, that would have been fine, but it felt weird now that I needed to be active and keep up with them. Something interesting is my husband and I have similar eating habits, and the habits are that we don't eat a lot, and when we have a sweet tooth, we will often share one entree and then share a dessert. I think I have all this weight because I love sweets and I don't work out. However, I think there is a strongly possibility I have PCOS. I already have insulin resistance, but I'm not diabetic. My blood tests are normal, but the last doctor I asked about an ultrasound for PCOS, and it didn't matter because I already on BC and had normal glucose levels, so there was no reason to confirm if I had it. I think the doctor just didn't want to deal with me and didn't want any sort of exam to just talk to me for about 10 minutes. Can't believe I had to pay like $200 for that. Same.
That's ridiculous.
Robbery. I usually buy our furniture and check to make sure it will work for me or my sister. However, my friend was nice and bought us some island stools for our apartment when we moved in. However, they were cheap Walmart ones. I ended up breaking one while we were hosting and partying. Everyone was there. Crying emoji.
Oh,
The
I
last
hope
thing
you're
I want.
okay.
I know.
Hope you
I
didn't
hope
hurt
you're okay.
yourself.
I know. Yeah. The last thing I want to ramble about was I also have a bad neck hump. Oh my gosh, same. I didn't even realize it until recently. I immediately booked a massage. It was yesterday, so I was super sore, and she gave me stretches to do daily, and I was seeing her 2 weeks until I have this hump under control. Sorry for the long email. I just don't really get to talk about this stuff. So
Thank you so much for sharing all of that.
thank you for so much for sharing. We're always down to talk, and I hope you're
Mm-hmm.
okay with us sharing this. Um, We love to share what you guys send us via email. In the
Mm-hmm.
future, if you don't want us to share it, just let us know that it's just like not for sharing. It's just for Hayley and I to read.
Yeah.
I will email you back and let you know it's on the podcast. Hopefully you'll email me back in time and let me know like if you don't want it in. That's totally fine. We'll take it out.
Yeah.
But we understand all of this stuff in this email Hayley and I have been
Mm-hmm.
through. You are not
Yes.
alone
Not alone at all.
at
For what it's
all.
worth, I have heard that Disneyland is not fat friendly at all.
No.
And even just from a walking perspective, like having done the San Diego Zoo at like 370 pounds, Jesus Christ. I feel
Jesus.
it is, that shit is not easy.
Mm-mm.
Even my husband was exhausted, but like, God, that's that much walking is always very hard.
Very hard.
I'm sorry that the other people that you were with, like that you felt embarrassed about it. I hope that they didn't contribute to that. But I understand the feeling because I would take it that way if it was me as well, which
Oh,
isn't fair to us. But
right. No. Same. I always like sometimes I feel like I my husband doesn't make me feel like I need to remind him, but I feel the need to remind him like, hey, like I'm two of you.
mm-hmm.
Like I'm 300 pounds, you're 150. Like I'm literally carrying another you on me.
Mm-hmm.
So like let's take a break. Like let me catch my breath here when we're
Yeah.
hiking or doing anything that I feel like I need to sit down for a second. Like any activity is
Yeah.
enough activity. You know what like you know what I mean? Like
Totally.
it's better than none. Like it's totally better than none.
Yeah. And even if you were exactly the same size, like you could still need a break and that, that should be fine.
Yeah.
People have back problems, people have foot, knee problems, whatever. Sometimes you just need a break.
But I just need a break. Yeah. But I totally get that when you're in like a mixed size couple and like you think like they don't need a break, but
Mm-hmm.
you need a break or like the fear of like roller coasters. Yes. Like
Yeah.
thank God my mixed size husband doesn't like roller coasters.
Yeah.
But I always, of course, I had that fear when going on a plane. I was looking up the schematics to make sure I could fit and stuff like that. That's just,
Yeah.
unfortunately, part of being plus size is you doing the work to make sure that, like, you'll fit and you're comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 Our hearts go out to you.
Yes, thank you for writing in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a story that you found on Reddit that you want to share before I read the other email? Because I feel like the other email has nothing to do with mixed sides, so I actually might wait until we just do a random Reddit.
Yeah, let's hold that. Let's hold that.
We're gonna wait on that.
Oh, that was my chair.
Yeah.
Let's see. So yeah, I do have one from r/relationships. Me, 32M, with my love interest, 30F. I'm fat, she's skinny. What do? I've always been a bigger guy. Currently 5'10", 250 pounds, but none of it is muscle. So we're talking undeniable flab and man boobs here. I've never even really tried to be with a girl who was in shape because sexually they could simply do better. Recently, I met this girl at a party. She was interested in me and suggested we go on a date. So we have been on a few dates now, and we work so well that this is definitely turning into a really healthy relationship. The thing is, she dresses pretty conservatively, so I had no idea what kind of shape she was in. Now that we have been getting more handsy, I'm realizing she has this amazing body. Comparatively, I feel like anywhere she grabs on me, she's just getting sweaty flab. I have been taking steps to eat better and exercise daily. I started doing this a little before I met her, in fact, but it will certainly be a slow process and sex is imminent. I'm trying to keep in mind that she came onto me, but I imagine it must be because she likes my personality, as I just cannot see what she would like about me physically. I don't want to blow this if I can't get it up because I feel gross or something. Can anyone help me work out how on earth she would find me attractive besides just be confident? What are some physical things girls might actually like about a fat dude during sex? If I can understand how she might view me physically, that might help me feel less apologetic about my own self until I start seeing results from my weight loss efforts. This just made me sad. It's this
Society has made him feel this way.
Yeah, obviously there are so many stories online where it's people can't fathom that other people find them attractive just because they're fat. But it broke my heart to read how he was talking about his body. She clearly likes him, knowing damn well what he looks like. Obviously clothes hide nakedness, but they don't make you a shapeshifter. She knows what you look like.
She knows that there's fat underneath that shirt, babe. And
she's down.
She's down for it.
Fat dudes, they're cuddly, they're warm, there's weight behind the motions, if you get what I'm saying. I have been with people of all sizes. I'm not gonna rank them, but don't let your weight don't let your weight stop you from finding the one you're supposed to be with, because the right person will like how you look, and will love the person you are inside. They won't look past your weight. They'll love you as you are. I wish more people felt that way online.
I know.
It always breaks my heart because I'm there is someone out there for everybody.
Right. And I think you summed it perfectly. Clothes don't make you a shapeshifter. She knows that there's man titties underneath this t-shirt, and she may want to motorboat them titties. Yeah. You know what I mean?
She might, yeah. I mean, I wasn't sure if that was a just me thing. I love man boobs. They don't have to be man booby, but I love I love pecs. I love the man's boobs.
Yeah. No.
It's fun. I love nips,
Yeah.
Daryl
says yes to the man nips. Yes.
He was too stunned, apparently. What are you talking about, Mom? Anyway, that thing can stay on the floor. I don't care.
Yeah, that's sad. Are there any comments giving him some advice, some decent advice?
I did not. The story fit exactly one phone screen, and I was perfect, and I screenshot that and didn't scroll down. So I'm sorry, everybody.
Okay, you're that's all I need. That's all I need for this story. Amazing.
It was like 4 p.m. So I
Well,
was like, shit.
that makes sense. What advice would you give him instead of like just be confident? Like, what can he do? In quotation marks.
I think that just be confident. I feel like there are things that you can do to help your perception of yourself. Like, it's not an overnight thing, but the words that you use when you're talking about your body have an effect on how you see yourself.
Yeah.
The words that you use to talk about yourself have an effect on you. And
Yes.
removing things like flab, man boobs, if that's a negative for you,
Right.
sweaty, like,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if any word that you're using that you mean to kind of like dog on yourself, you shouldn't. You should try and refrain from that or try and find something else. Because even if you're joking about yourself, if you're like, haha, like I'm so stupid, your brain takes it seriously. Your brain
Yes.
can't tell it's a joke.
Right.
And it weighs on you over time.
Right.
But I also think like if you're an adult film watcher, if you're a porn guy, find something with a bigger guy in it.
Oh, that's good
Find something
advice.
that you can like see yourself in.
Yeah.
And, maybe you're not attracted to that male figure, but it's more like desensitizing yourself
Yeah.
and getting used to seeing that and seeing someone of that size be sexual and thinking like that can be me too.
Right. Yeah. I
Thanks.
love that. It's very much like do the work of undoing the hatred you feel for your body.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Find ways to uplift yourself and make yourself feel sexy
Yeah.
versus like choosing words that tear you down and
Yeah.
putting yourself in a mindset of like, this is unattractive. Why is she attractive? Why are you questioning? Like, she's into
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Like, you're the
Exactly.
one that's perceiving yourself as unattractive, not
Yeah.
her, clearly. You know what I mean?
And that is a hard thing to unlearn in your head.
Ooh,
It
so
is.
much.
It might take the entirety of this relationship for you to unlearn it,
Yeah.
but you will be happier when you do,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
I hope that it gets
Absolutely.
better for him.
I hope so too. So I found a thread. This is under r/s ask Reddit.
Ooh.
And it's interesting. It's an archived post. This is actually from 10 years ago, you guys. 10 years ago. I went deep. Into Reddit.
It's
Deep. I don't know
wild to
why.
think that Reddit has even been like around that long. Like I know that, but it's still weird to
It's
hear.
weird. Yeah. This says, when you see a couple with vast differences in physical attractiveness, what common assumptions about the less attractive person do you find yourself making? I thought this was very interesting
Okay.
because I think we've talked about assumptions that people make when you're in a mixed size couple.
Mm-hmm.
And so this kind of like let people share their assumptions that they make. Let them like air out how they view.
Yeah.
One of them was actually interesting because I think people tend to forget that people's weight is not only like we get comments all the time on YouTube about like just eat less. Like just
Yeah.
stop eating. You know what I mean? Like it's so funny. But like that's what they view. And so this
Yeah.
one was story. I used to work with someone who was morbidly obese and had wispy facial hair, a woman. She wasn't particularly nice and definitely not rich. She lived a few blocks from me, and one day I bumped into her on the street. She introduced me to a good looking, athletic guy she was with. It was her husband. I was so shocked that she must have noticed my jaw practically hitting my balls. Not that part killed me.
Yeah.
Not long after, she had people over after work for beers. They had photo displayed around the house, and in almost all of them, she was trim, fit, attractive, 20 something. It turned out a medical condition caused her to gain hundreds of pounds in her 30s and sent her hormones out of control, hence the facial hair. Her husband, being a better man than I, stayed with her despite the physical changes. So you never know what the situation is just from looking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I bet he didn't stay out of pity either.
Right.
He
Like
stayed because he loved her.
he stayed because he loved her. Like I think that people that judge mixed size couples just honestly judge being in relationships like from the get, and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, like when there's only physical attractiveness and that's it, I feel like those are the relationships that don't last, because
Why
you
would
don't
it?
get to see the person in all of like their capacities and different like phases of their life. Like
Yeah.
I've probably fallen in love with Brian like 20 times in the last 8 years of like the different person he's become. And I couldn't imagine only being like, I'm only with you for your looks. You know, like
Right. I also like one thing that always sticks out to me. It's like the onlooker. It's like if this person isn't attractive to them, they cannot conceptualize how anyone else could possibly be into them. And it's like humans are not a monolith, dude. Like
yeah.
you and I, like we're two fat women. We have different tastes, even though we ended up with two dudes that look shockingly similar to each other. So maybe we don't have different tastes, but
Yeah.
like my point is, just because one person thinks something's attractive or unattractive doesn't mean everybody does.
Right.
So like don't project that on other people.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm glad he had that like learning experience.
Me too. I think that it's a lot of time like I know that I have like my ex, I wasn't necessarily physically attracted to him, to be honest. Just because he just wasn't my type like physically. But he was so funny. I think
Yeah.
that that's to be said a lot for like a lot of relationships. People are like the personality hit, and
Oh
the
yeah.
physical attractiveness came later, once I already had that like emotional connection to him. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Attraction, I feel like attraction grows.
Yeah. Because he
Even
was
if you're
just,
already attracted to the person.
yeah, right. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
he just had these big old gauged ears, and the like gauged ear. Like they were big, y'all. They weren't like
How
cute
big?
little ones. They were like, boom, baby. And they like, he had like blown them out. So they were like, there was like parts of them that were little
Oh,
thin skin. I was like, like in my head,
yeah.
I was like, not in, not in.
I do love gauged ears, but
I've just never been engaged to ear girly. Like there are people that are like, yes,
see?
I know they stink. I know they stink. Like I've had enough
They do.
friends where I know those things stink, and hygiene is a big thing with me. Like I'm super hygienic, so I need my partner to be super hygienic, and I just knew. I knew
Oh,
that.
fancy pants over there.
Like, sorry that I
No, you're
wash
right.
my apron belly. You know what I mean? Like, excuse the hell out of
Oh,
me.
I tried to gauge my ears in college. They fucking stink, dude.
Dude,
And
they
I only got to like,
stink.
I couldn't get, I blew out every time I got to a 6 gauge because my earlobes are just like not fucking stretchy at all.
Yeah.
But even as small as that, stankin'.
Stankin'. There's one that said, my boyfriend is a good 200 pounds heavier than me. And I feel like it's like, I feel like a lot of cisgender women are the heavier ones in relationships. So I think it's fun to read about the men being heavier. But it says, I've had to bitch out a lot of people over that. He's an amazing man, has a wonderful job, is handsome and nice and kind. I've never met such a sweet guy before. I love him. But he has both health, not caused by the weight, and anxiety issues / depression. He pretty much destroyed one leg when he worked at a zoo, so now it hurts to put much weight on it. Ended up basically snapping it in several places and tearing a ligament. So that, combined with his anxiety and depression, caused him to put on weight. But we're working hard. I've been encouraging him to do acrobatics, and we're going to sign up and do it together on a schedule near a public pool. He's working hard. But I still get comments, rude comments, mean ones. Sometimes they'll be up front about them. Sometimes I'll be pulled to the side and ask if I'm a gold digger or something. I have screamed myself hoarse at people who do that. It isn't about skinny privilege or fat pride or whatever the fuck. He's doing his best. Fuck you. You can at least be a decent human being instead of making fun of someone.
Yes. This I saw something like within the last couple weeks where do you know the artist Jelly Roll?
Yes. I was
His
just about to say this.
yeah,
Yes.
his wife or his girlfriend, I'm not sure what her name is. She's very stereotypically attractive, like conventionally attractive. And she talked about how he was literally bullied offline because of his weight.
Yes.
And someone like an artist that's like having his moment right now, someone who's fucking huge in the music scene, bullied off of a platform because of his weight. Like that's so fucked up to do.
Insane.
Like it happens to women a lot and femmes, I know that happens a lot. And it doesn't make it worse that it happened to a guy. But it's like, what are these people like? Get an actual hobby. Stop fucking bullying
Right.
people. Another thing that I thought of, like, when you were talking about that, is how many people can, not how many people, I guess, like, these people that are so shitty about weight, I just wonder, would they leave their spouse if something like that happened to them? Because you have no control, like, I could get, God forbid, like, knock on wood, I could get hit by a car tomorrow
Yeah.
and, completely destroy one of my legs or not ever be able to walk again. And my weight could fluctuate drastically. Like, you don't know when something like that is going to happen to you. You don't choose to develop a condition,
Right.
like internal or external, whatever the case may be. So it's like, are you really so shallow that if that happened to the person that you love, you would just leave them? And if so, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, statistically, cisgendered men do leave cisgendered women that have. We know this. Like this is a known fact. But yeah, like
Yes.
that's we all know. I didn't need to say
But
it, but we're gonna say it.
yeah, but I've seen like on r/marriage, women have said the same thing. Like
Oh yeah,
there are women that
absolutely.
write in about like, oh, my husband's gotten fat, like I want to leave him. And it's
Yeah.
like, I don't know, maybe it's seeing that my mom, whenever she got married, like she was very trim and petite. And after she had kids, she gained a
Yes.
significant amount of weight and didn't lose it. And even to this day, like my dad's still into her. He's like a little too like showy about it
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
front of other
Mm-hmm.
people, but like that
Good for her.
is
Good for
I
him.
know. I know. Like that is one thing that I will always like rally around him for is that like he has always loved my mom like that. Like regardless of the size. He's always been into her. And it's like
Oh,
if it isn't like that, like if he can do
yes.
it, everybody fucking can.
Like
Like,
like yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just it would not even cross my mind to
Mm,
leave because of weight. Like I would be a
no,
fucking hypocrite if I did, but
for sure.
still, I couldn't
Right.
imagine that.
No. Yeah, that's been the one thing that I know comes with maturity is when you are young and like half the people that comment on our stuff like they're kids. Like they're
Yeah.
teenagers, they're in their early 20s like or they're like 12, whatever. Like they are children and like they don't understand like when you become an adult and you reach a level of intimacy that you have with your partner, like it
Mhm.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they
No.
look like. It doesn't matter. Like you have fallen in such deep love with that person that that's your person.
Yeah.
And I feel bad for people that don't have that. I feel bad for people
Yeah.
that think that love really is like it is only like skin deep, like what you see. Like that's
Yeah.
sad. You know what I mean?
It
And
is like it's very sad to think that that's all you're bringing into a relationship and
yes.
to know that you're going to age. You
Yes.
know that your looks aren't forever. Like
Right.
having that in the back of your head, what kind of life is that?
Right. Yeah. I have people all the time being like, those tattoos are forever. And I'm like, honey, as someone that has been surrounded by death,
Mhm.
my one of my grandmothers, bless her heart, RAP, she cared so much about what she looked like her entire life. I'm not lying,
Mm-hmm.
you guys. Like, she made sure to stay like a size 2 her whole life. If she could have been a 0, she would have been a 0.
Yeah.
Like, she did the face cream, she did the neck cream, she got the procedures.
Oh.
In her casket, looked like fucking hell. She looked terrible. Unrecognizable. Like, and it's like, for what? You put all that time and all that
Mm-hmm.
energy, instead of being happy and living your life,
Yeah.
you were so worried about what you were going to look like when you were older, and you still died and you looked like shit. Like, love you.
Yeah.
You look like a hell, babe. So I'm gonna get the tattoo. I'm gonna look disgusting when I'm older, and I hope I do. I hope people look at me and be like, "Fuck,
But you're gonna
this."
think you look fucking awesome.
Yeah, like, this girl lived. Like,
Mm-hmm.
she really, like,
Yeah.
life hung her up wet. Whatever they say here in the South, like, woo, rode her hard and hung her up wet. Like, this poor girl. Like, that's what I want. Like, because you're gonna look gross. Every old
Yeah.
person, like, come on. Like, when they're sick, when they're like 70 and 80, like,
Yeah.
come on, be so for real right now. What are we gonna
I
do?
know.
Stop aging? Like,
I think that would be the ideal for people like that, though. Like, and I've just never. I don't think there's a problem with like trying to take care of yourself.
right,
And
absolutely
if
not.
those like procedures and things, like if you want to get Botox and filler because you like
Mm,
it, like
yeah,
do it. But if you're doing it because you're afraid of getting old and looking old, I've got bad news for you, baby. You're still going to
yeah,
look old. You're just
yeah,
going to be someone who's old that had work done. Like, that's
yeah.
fine, but dying and aging's inevitable.
It's
I'm sorry to
inevitable.
say.
Yeah. My thing is, like, I don't care what you do for you. I care, like, it's real lame when you comment on other people. Like,
Yeah.
what you say in the privacy of your own home, or to your little, like, your BFF, like, whatever. Like, if
Mhm.
you want to get procedures to make you feel good, if you want to stay a certain size to make you feel good, mwah. It's when you're going online and spewing
Mhm.
hate towards another person for doing what they want to do, living the life
Yeah.
they want to live. That's where I'm like, you're real fucking lame, dude. Like,
Mhm.
you're real lame.
Very
Like,
much. Very lame.
so lame.
It's kind of like, not to get like too political or anything, it's kind of like the same kind of it kind of gives off the same vibes as like super hardcore Christians where they want everyone else to believe the same thing. And if people don't, because people are not a monolith, they
Yes.
attack those people. And it's like, who are you to say? Who are you to say that the what you think is right is actually right?
Right.
We don't know.
We don't know.
We might get there, we might die, and you might have been right. Or maybe there's nothing. I don't know. Either way, I'll be dead, so like whatever.
So whatever.
Like, what am I gonna do?
So whatever. Do you have a short story that you want to share before we wrap this up? That way we can actually say we at least did 3.
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's actually a couple. I'm gonna read some titles and I'm gonna have you pick. So,
Ooh.
am I the asshole for telling my plus size wife she is fat phobic and to stop calling our baby fat? Or am I the asshole for wanting my husband to change my picture on his phone?
Oh, I'm going with the first one. I'm going with the baby.
All
Because that's
right.
messed up. Go,
All
go,
right.
go.
My wife and I had our daughter 10 months ago. To be honest, our daughter is pretty large for her age. She's a very big and healthy baby, and we love her very much. But I feel like my wife is already obsessed with her weight. She keeps calling our daughter Chunky Girl or Miss Piggy. She says they're endearing nicknames, and all her side of the family also calls her this. It honestly confuses me why she points out our daughter's weight so much because she is also plus size. When we met, my wife was what people call midsize and very curvy, but she gained a lot of relationship weight when we got together, which I didn't mind. But recently, I've been reading some parenting books about how much children absorb at this age, and the names have started to bother me. Last night, I finally got the courage after my wife called our daughter Fatty Patty for the first time. I told her to stop calling her fat because it's going to hurt her self esteem when she's older. My wife looked shocked and told me there is nothing wrong with being fat. I agreed, but completely disagree that calling our daughter fat, even in an endearing way, will not teach her it's okay to be fat. We argued about it until we got loud enough to upset our daughter, who then began crying. She took the baby in another room and came back to tell me I was ridiculous. I then told her her actions are fat phobic and her obsession with our daughter's weight is unhealthy for her and our baby. This upset her immensely and she went to bed. Am I the asshole here?
No, bro. No.
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 Not at all.
No. Ask your wife if she has a nickname for your daughter that doesn't revolve around her weight.
Yeah. Like, I love chunky babies. A fat baby is a cute fucking baby.
It's a healthy baby.
Yeah, they're supposed to be.
They're supposed to. It's like, that's evolution, bro. Like, that baby has soft bones right now. It's prepared to roll, tuck, and rumble, bro. Like, what are you talking about?
But the thing, when I read this, the thing that I thought was, even if she's truly raising this kid in a like weight neutral household, if the kid grows up to be fat, she is going to run into somebody at school, on some playground, wherever, that is going to call her fatty patty or whatever in a derogatory way.
Yes.
And she's going to know the difference. And that, even in her young mind, is going to set into motion, like, has my mom been making fun of me this whole time?
Yeah. It's not neutral unless you're talking about it as the term that it is. Unless you are, which would be weird, but unless you're like, you know, like, what's that called? Squeezing your child's like legs and being like, look at this excess fat that you have. This is to protect your legs. Look at this excess fat that you have on your arms. This is to protect your arms. That's neutral, bro. Like, that's you, fatty patty. Come on.
That's a low blow, even for a baby. Like, baby doesn't know what's going on. That's fucked up.
Is her name Patty? Like, what is going on here? What's going on? No.
I think it's so messed up.
You're bullying your kid. Like, well, you're pre-bullying your kid, even if you're saying it lovingly. Like, I can say, like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like, I'm still insulting the person I'm saying. Like,
if Brian like got you by your face and was like, you're such a moron, like, you would have issue with that.
Yes. Yeah, even if, could you imagine Jax like holding your tummy and being like, I love you, fatty patty? You'd be like, get the fuck away from me.
Yes.
Even if it said like lovingly, like, I'm loving you neutrally. Like, no, you're not. Yeah. Because of how the context of what you're saying, dude.
Yes.
Like, no, if anything, his wife needs therapy. Like, he needs to get her into therapy. She's projecting how she feels. And
I'm sure that her family did the same thing to her and told her it was no big deal.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think this started with the wife.
No.
But she's got to do better and correct it.
Yes. Absolutely.
Good for this. I'm assuming God, but maybe I shouldn't. Good for OP for doing the work and reading baby books and internalizing this stuff. Like,
amazing.
Good job.
Good job. Speaking of good job, if you think we did a good job here on the podcast today, you should leave us a 5-star review, because we're at 4.1 and I can't stand that.
It just burns my biscuits.
Burns me up inside.
We work so hard to post very irregularly. How dare you leave less than a 5-star?
I mean, I'm like, we pay money, guys. Like, we pay money to be on here. We do.
We do this for y'all. No, we just do. We love it, but please give us some 5 stars if you haven't already. Tell your friends too.
Yes.
Because I don't know what it will do, but I want people to still find the podcast since we're sitting here on our Friday night recording it.
Yes. Yes. Like, come on, guys. We're 2 professionals. Like,
yeah.
Support us.
My cat is destroying the house around me in this very professional environment.
So I can feel my husband lurking, like, you done? You done?
Not even close,
Not
pal.
even close. Got another one. Where can they find us, Hayley?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Threads at Plus Size Section, on TikTok at the Plus Size Section. If you want to send us a story, you can do that at the plus size section at gmail.com. Please, if you send us a story, include if you want it to be read on the podcast, and if so, if you want it to be anonymous or not. That would be really helpful.
Yeah.
To know, because we don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable. And Sam already talked about doing 5-star ratings. She went in, so I hope you guys listened. But if not, I'm kidding, Sam, you didn't go in. If not, I'll say it again. 5-star ratings, please, because we're some 5-star chicks. Is that it?
That's it. Okay, bye.
Bye, y'all.